Welcome to Fearless Fridays, your day to reclaim your weekend and your life. This week we're going to talk about perception and how truly important it is to really perceive things as they really are instead of how we think they are. Over the past week I have been listening to Michael Bublé's new CD, and it's absolutely fabulous. And one of the things, the songs that's on this album is called I've Got It Easy. And this song is so intriguing, I actually had it on repeat for an entire day. And the song talks about a story of this gentleman and how he's had it easy his whole life. He's never had to really work for anything. He's never really been in trouble. When other people are lost in the dark, he's seeing the sunshine, and when everybody else is drowning, he's just knee-deep in water. And when I listened to that the first time, I was really taken aback and was like, what? And I felt this shifting of energy. I don't want to say jealousy, but it was almost like an envious of, oh, I wish my life had been that easy. But then I listened to it again, and then again, and then again. And the more that I listened to it, the more grateful I felt for everything that I've been through. I mean, just utter and pure gratitude, because, you know, I started to think about, well, what would have happened if my mom wouldn't have passed away when I was 12? Because that was a really challenging time for me. What would have happened if my father wouldn't have got remarried? What would have happened if my father wouldn't have kicked me out when I was 16? What would have happened if, and then all these situations, all these scenarios that I've been through that have been really challenging in my life, I asked myself, who would I be as a person? I know I would not be anywhere near to who I am today. And in seeing and reflecting all of those thoughts and reflecting on all of those situations that I've been through, that really allowed me to see the value in each and every one of these struggles that I've been through, as well as all the triumphs and victories, because I've worked through those struggles and come out the other side a stronger person. And many times when we look at a situation for what we think it should be and try to force that to happen and try to force that situation to be in this specific box or be in this specific light, then we miss the whole reason why we're going through that situation in the first place. Many times when we think we know about a situation, and so we're like, okay, well, I think this situation should be like this, or I perceive this situation or this person or this relationship like this. And when we do that, we're really putting that situation and those people in a box. And one of the things that I like to explain this to my students as is, it's like you're superimposing the past onto the present. So back in the day, we used to have these things called overhead projectors, where it was a series of lenses and lights and mirrors that projected things onto a screen. And the medium that you would use on the screen was a sheet of plastic, and you'd write things on the sheet of plastic and put it on the flat mirrored lighted surface that had this giant lens on it, and it would then be projected onto the screen. Well, what happens when we think we know how a situation should be, what we're doing is taking our experiences about that situation or about that person and from our past, that we've learned from our past, and superimposing it onto the present situation. So let's just say that you've had a challenging time in relationships in the past, and now you're starting a new relationship and you're thinking, oh, this is fabulous, but then in the back of your mind you're going, oh, but what if this happens or this happens or this happens? And you got all these things from the past that are kind of waiting in the wings to happen. Well, what you're doing is superimposing the past onto the present, or taking that old film from yesterday and putting it on today and expecting the same things to happen. And that's really doing yourself as well as the people that are in the situation with you a huge disservice, because you're not accurately perceiving the situation for what it really truly is, a unique situation. one of the things that I've been trying to do is surrender to the feelings of every moment of my day. And in being in the relationship that I've been in, I've really tried to force certain aspects of the relationship to be what they're really not. And, simply because I perceive, well, this part of my relationship should be this way. So I superimpose this perception onto that aspect of my relationship. Well, what that did was magnify that part of my relationship when I ignored the other part. And those other parts that I was ignoring really caused me a lot of heartache and a lot of grief. And it wasn't until I just surrendered to how I thought life should be, and just surrendered my need to control every situation, and just allowed myself to truly perceive each and every situation in my life for what it really truly is. And with that, I allowed myself to be fully present in each situation. And when I did that, that allowed me to really feel out my truth in each situation. This past week on the What's Up Wednesday call, we spoke about a blind person and how a blind person is given food. And here, this is steak, when in reality it's liver. And so the blind person smells, well, this doesn't really smell like steak. And so, they cut it and then they take a bite and, ooh, this is liver. I don't like liver. I don't want this. I would like a steak instead. And when you're fully present in the moment and you feel those good feelings, those not so good feelings, however we choose to perceive the feeling of that particular event or that moment, and we know that we don't like it. We know we don't like it. That is the same thing as eating something we don't like continuously, saying, I don't like this, but I'm continuing to eat it because I don't like it, but I don't want to do anything about it, and I don't want to say anything about it because I don't want to inconvenience anybody else. And when you choose to feel situations for what they really are instead of how we think they should be, that's when you can say, I want a steak, I don't want this liver, and push it away and refuse to eat it until you get what you really want. And that's the same thing about life. I was, on Monday I posted a video about how many times I feel fear, or what I perceive as fear, but I do it anyway. It meaning go with my energies and my feelings and my emotions with things, because I have no other choice but to do that. It's just like me trying to eat liver when I don't like liver. It's like, I'm not gonna eat this. And that's just like living a life that's not authentic, that's doing something that doesn't feel good, that doesn't feel true to who I am. And the biggest, most beneficial thing that you can do for yourself in life is to really allow yourself to surrender the need for control. Allow yourself to say, this situation is exactly as it should be. And then allowing yourself to perceive the situation as it really is instead of what we think it is. And the way to do that is to be fully present in the situation and in the moment without superimposing the past onto the present. That is one of the easiest ways to get disappointed, to superimpose that past onto the present. Try to go into each and every situation with neutrality, saying, I wonder what this moment has in store for me today. Yay! And then you can be surprised, you can be disappointed, yada yada. Usually we're disappointed because we've superimposed the past onto the present, and we have expectations, and we have, preconceived notions of how things should be, our perceptions of how we think things should be. So this week I challenge you to surrender the need to control everything. I also challenge you to go into every situation, truly every moment of your day, allowing yourself to perceive the situation as it really truly is, not how we think it should be. And every situation, every conversation with a person, every interaction with someone, every moment, of our day. Choose to surrender the need for control. Choose to see it and perceive it as it really is. And the best way to do that is to be fully present in the moment without superimposing that past onto the present. And that is a surefire way to become fearlessly inspired. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, please post your comments below. I love reading them, and share it with your friends on Facebook and Twitter. Until next week, bye-bye.